everybody.
I assumed that because you went live, you already started recording.
No, Max was telling the great boat story.
And you decided to
And
not
now-
record?
And now the whole world will never
I've
hear
now
it.
started recording.
Wow,
Gosh.
recorded after the greatest. You guys all agree that was probably the greatest story ever told.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
It was
I did like
Chuck.
Chuck. Chuck was pretty cool.
Every
It was
time I
definitely
try
the
to be considerate. Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, welcome. We've got some great topics. And by topics, I mean the one topic. Max, do you want to tell? You want the honors of telling the loyal viewers
I'll tell
the topic?
peoples.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Today we're discussing VTubers.
That's right. The excitement. So exciting.
It's palpable.
Popping up and down.
All right. So, have you guys heard of a little thing called Niji Sanji?
No idea what that is.
I've heard of Sanji.
Never heard of
Did I say
that.
cheese?
So Niji Sanji is a VTuber company. It's like it's one of those ones. It's one of the big ones who like. It's like an agency. They find talents, aka the VTubers.
Mm.
They sign contracts and stuff. They do deals and things. No, it's all good. Except Niji Sanji isn't good. I don't know the entire situation, or I guess I did know the entire situation, but it's been so long at this point that I kind of forgot. But like either earlier this year or towards the end of last year, Niji Sanji did a pretty big oopsie with one of their talents who goes by the name Doki Bird, or did. I don't remember which. But basically, this Doki Bird person, she was going through a lot of stuff. She actually no. So
was this a she, or did this just have the avatar of a she?
What?
Is this VTuber actually a she?
We're talking about VTubers, not Avatar. Come on now.
Yeah,
she was a she. Well, I don't know why I'm saying that. She is a she.
There's a couple funny clips I've seen where the VTuber filter breaks and it's not
Before the incident, she was a she.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right, but basically, I'm trying to the details are a bit hazy, so take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. This is just my rough ape brain recollection.
What terrible thing happened that we've been making fun of this whole time? I can't wait.
Well, she tried to commit suicide for one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And there it is.
And while she was in the hospital, recovering from her multiple attempts at suicide, Niji Sanji announced on Twitter yeah, we decided that Doki Bird and us would go our separate ways. And that's how she found out that she was kicked out of Niji Sanji.
Oh.
Yeah, that
I bet you guys
familiar.
We don't want that image.
Yeah, I bet you guys. Brand. I bet you guys feel real good about making fun of the situation now, don't you?
Still feel.
I mean, I was going to make fun of it no matter what the situation was. So,
I only laughed at Gavin's joke.
Thanks.
Not at the
Which
situation.
Means he's guilty by proxy.
Anyways, so Doki Bird came out and talked about hey, this wasn't cool. This is what happened. I was in the hospital from my numerous attempts at my own life, and then Niji Sanji came out and fired me, and I only found out because one of my friends told me about it by seeing the Twitter post. And I think the way this started is she she did like a Christmas song music video or something. It might have just been a music video. She did like a music video without Niji Sanji's permission. And that was like, oh no, Doki Bird, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
this like new age machinima?
What?
It does sound like a Machina.
Yeah. Yeah, kinda. Anyways.
Remember that was like so much controversy caused by that.
Yeah. Anyways, ever since then, people have been roasting the absolute fuck out of Niji Sanji. People like Niji Sanji got into some very deep water for rightful reasons. And they only kept digging themselves a deeper hole. Like Doki Bird would go live on stream, not under the Doki Bird name, under the name of her original account before she joined
Bird Doki.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
I'll just call it Bird Doki because I don't remember what it's called. But she joined, but she had to do that under her original account because Niji Sanji still had the rights to the Doki Bird account and stuff, so she couldn't do that either.
Yeah,
and they were still making like merch and stuff off of Doki Bird even after she was fired. But anyways,
anytime you have to sign a contract, it's never a good sign.
Yeah, but anyways, as she was live streaming, Niji Sanji decided to have like some of their talents post a quote-unquote expose video on Doki Bird and how very, very bad she was. And this is when it was revealed like the very petty things which Niji Sanji was mad at her over, which was like just simply doing like projects and stuff without their permission.
Yeah, individual projects.
Yeah.
Because if I remember
she was content as a content creator?
Yeah.
What?
Keep in mind, she was paying for those things with her own money.
Yeah. That's what I remembered is she was paying for this project for her own money. It didn't come out of the company's money, and then all of a sudden, you have money on your own? Hey, whoa! You can't just show it.
Spend money. Okay, we're gonna need your bank account right now. It's like they reach up, but it's not your bank telling you your credit card was compromised. It's them calling you. We noticed a $26 purchase at Target. You're not buying craft supplies, are you?
Oh gosh. Yeah. Anyways, go for it, Cameron.
Yeah. Like because of this, she wound up having to end the stream early because she was too stressed to continue doing it because a lot of the talents who were her former friends when she worked at Niji Sanji were just forced to make like an exposing video on her. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna end the stream now, guys. Bye. And then, like, since then, there's been a whole bunch of, like, legal shit between Doki Bird and Niji Sanji. Niji Sanji would continue to try and harass Doki Bird and would get themselves utterly humiliated. It got so bad to the point where the president of Niji Sanji made a fucking apology video.
Brutal.
I love apology videos. They're always
I
great.
can't believe he would even.
Are so sorry.
A video like he didn't even like a video.
I'm pretty sure he didn't even address any of the controversies in the video.
Normally they just like give a written response. It's like, yeah, we're sorry.
He made a full-on apology video.
Wow.
He turned on the camera. He was like, look,
probably
guys,
worse.
I know we might have done some.
Wait, is this guy VTuber as well? Did he turn the video on?
No, he did not. He did not have his own VTuber model.
He was using Doki Bird's VTube.
Riley, this is a very serious situation. We can't.
Sorry.
Anime wife of VR, very serious.
Sorry. Well, it is a serious situation.
Yeah.
I just inherently don't take YouTubers that seriously. It's just...
How old is this situation? What's the?
I'm pretty sure it's very recent. It's like what I told you at the beginning. It was either earlier this year or towards the end of last year.
Oh, okay.
When this is going down.
Oh, I'd probably say it's been about 4 months, like at minimum 4 months.
Yeah. But basically, the president of Niji Sanji came out with his apology video. He didn't address any of the actual shit people were mad at them over, which is like the treating their talents like shit, the whole Doki Birds situation. The way they hemorrhage a fuck ton of money from, like, they take 80% cuts from their talents'
Jeez.
paychecks, I think.
80%?
Something like that. I don't remember the exact number. I just know they take a metric fuck ton.
I just don't get why you join one of these. Like, there's never any upsides. It's like, we own you, you're our slave, we own all your money. Thank you.
And I think the last I heard about them, they were actually getting into some trouble with the Japanese government.
Oh my.
For something. I don't know what. Like I said, a lot of details about Niji Sanji is hazy. Also, like, there was a lot of talents for Niji Sanji who were just shitty people too. Like,
Sure.
yeah, like one of them was like a hardcore racist to non-Asians. Or I guess specifically like white Americans, I think. I don't remember. The dude just kept making a bunch of like racist jokes about Americans. It was also like in on the Doki Bird smear campaign. There's, if you want more like details, you could look it up yourself. This is just my eighth brain recollection.
Sources in the chat.
Or
guys.
you could no.
You'll edit in sources.
Oh,
right?
oh my gosh! You have to give me the sources. You put it in the description yourself, Max. I believe in you.
I'm not looking this up.
I'll take Cameron's word that everything he said was truthful. I don't need to fact check anything. It's all bad, and I'm surprised the company's still afloat at this rate. They didn't have like everybody quit. I would be.
I'm sure there were plenty of like people quitting Niji
people
Sanji.
Dropping off there.
I don't know, but like Nuxtaku said it. I don't think this is exactly, but I think he described it pretty well. Is that Niji Sanji treated their other branches, like the Chinese branch, the American branch, the England branch? No, they treated it like it was like they were all part of the Japanese idol industry, which in of itself is pretty fucked up.
I was gonna say, isn't that like super nasty?
Yeah. And
like,
they didn't
a lot of them, like, kill themselves like regularly because it's so bad.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Oh yeah.
I've heard nothing but bad things about it whenever I hear about it.
Yeah. And they thought they could get away with treating people from other parts of the world who weren't in Japan like that. Not that they should be treating Japanese people like that either. They just thought they could get away with it by spreading that mentality to other parts of the world.
Maybe instead of making anti-America racist jokes, they should have looked into we'll screw you if you mess with us. Oh, you're gonna screw me? And your company's bankrupt.
I'm actually gonna look it up right now. Niji Sanji. I don't think they're bankrupt, but
well, they're not making a profit. Probably.
Probably go the way of Machinima. I think they went bankrupt.
3 months ago, somebody said Niji Sanji's financial crisis, a state of ruin. This is a 13-minute long video.
I could have never predicted. What happened? Our business was going so well.
Our business of ringing creators till they're dry didn't sustain itself. What the heck?
Oh, wait, here's a YouTube title from 12 days ago. Niji Sanji, $46 million failed buyback. Doxing victim in hospital.
Oh,
merch
my
canceled.
Gosh. Oh, the merch got canceled?
Yeah.
Oh man.
It didn't have like
I guess that made me remember another part of the Doki Bird situation. Like, they doxed her too while doing that whole like expose thing, which obviously you shouldn't do that if you
I feel like that would break a contract agreement.
yeah.
You normally sign the contract is supposed to be mutually beneficial. You're reading it and it's like 80% cut. I can say your address whenever.
Even if you're not with us, we can still make money off you.
Yeah, we can steal your kidneys if we really need a kidney.
They have you put your full address in with like a Google Maps pinpoint. It's like, what's this for? Oh, nothing.
Nothing
we're gonna do with later. That's for sure.
We just want to make sure Santa Claus comes to your house.
Yeah.
I think Niji Sanji creators were also banned from several conventions too.
Oof.
Just due to being associated with Niji Sanji.
Man. Well, it just shows you how much I don't know about the VTuber space. All I thought VTubing was you know, you got your 3D modeling after a month or two of making all the assets, stitching them all together. But you just gotta know, there's always controversy in anything on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, anybody else have any more controversy that sprouted up recently?
Nope.
Yeah, I keep up with VTuber space nearly enough to have any. In fact,
I
I don't keep up with it at all.
I don't keep up with the VTuber space that much either. This is just something I happen to hear from one of the YouTubers I watch.
Well, let's not all get too excited here.
Max, you're very quiet on my end. You sure you're using the right mic? This could be a Gavin situation where his mic just goes to like his computer or something.
Yeah, it's using the right mic. It's just far away from me now.
Ah, okay. That's probably why.
It used to be sitting next to me on my desk, but I got a fourth 3D printer because I don't have enough. And that's now taking up the rest of my desk. So I have it on top of my computer, kind of like almost behind my monitors.
Wait, can we go back 4 3D printers?
I was thinking of getting my third, honestly.
Yeah. I was gonna maybe get one, and then my coworker's like, "Hey, I have an extra. You want to buy it?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll buy it."
I'll take that off your head.
I got you.
Cameron, do you have a 3D printer?
No.
Both of mine were free, if that helps.
Oh.
I did have a 5th one, but I took it apart because I didn't really like it, and it was free.
So, why 4? Like, why did you?
We're printing, obviously.
Like,
I've got the OG from 2019, my old Ender 3.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
And then
I mean, it takes a long ass time to 3D print one thing.
Yeah.
4 just ups the production.
Oh, sure.
I got Ender 3 S1, which was a lot faster.
Yep.
I haven't used it too much, but it's pretty sweet. And then I got a resin printer because I was like, okay, well, I want to print with resin.
I've got a resin printer.
I haven't used it much because the fumes, and I don't have a.
The fumes just sitting on your disc.
If you touch the resin too much, you kind of get permanent
brain damage.
But and then I got an A1 Mini from my coworker.
Damn.
And let me get this straight. Is it just the one on your desk or all 4 on your desk?
The others are way too big. Those have their own little different spot.
Okay. I was going to say, like, how big is this desk? Is your desk just made of 3D printers?
Very, very small, so.
Well, it's got mini in the name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Cameron's gone. Oh, no.
We stopped talking about VTubers and went into withdrawal.
Move away from this topic that I researched so intimately. I'm done.
Oh, what happened? Yeah, you popped off for a second there, but don't worry.
I don't know what's been up with my Discord lately. Whenever I'm tabbed into another fucking application, it just fucks with my Discord. It makes it go to sleep mode and shuts it off. I don't know why.
That is a little wacko. Discord's
That is
been
very weird.
Discord's been acting weird ever since that like one update. Changed everybody's mic settings. You know, they're probably listening to us right now.
Oh, you want a story about listening? I mean, but the most recent one, I discovered one of the people I have to support for tech was helping with stuff, and I was like, are you going to be able to come into the office at all if I can't fix this? And she's like, well, not exactly. I'm on a boat. So she's working off a boat, and she's doing this thing called, I think, the Great Loop or something. It's you go up kind of through the Mississippi, and then you go up around north through the Great Lakes, and then down the East Coast. And this is I never
heard of this.
I was like, what? I had to Google it.
I never think of boats on rivers, and I know that's it's obvious. Boats can go on rivers. It's a boat.
I was like, what? You can just go there?
Just go in the water?
No idea this was a thing.
Boats
and then I
work
talked
on
to my mom
rivers,
about
crazy.
it. And so I guess this is technically in regards to my mom, so it wasn't even me. But I told my mom about it, like, on the drive home from work, because we work at the same place. And then she's like, yeah, the other day I had an ad for boat cruises around on the Great Loop path. It's like, wow, neither of us had ever heard of it before. I talked to her about it one time in the car on the way home. Boom. Ads for... It's like, wow, thanks. Real subtle, guys.
Hey, they're just wanting to make sure that you know more about the Great Loop.
Yeah.
The Great Loop. The Great Loop. The Great Loop. The Great Loop.
I get ads for things. I get ads for, like, women's makeup.
Oh, you need that.
What's going on? Do you know who I like?
Do you know who I am?
Were you getting ads like this from?
Usually it's like YouTube ads.
Oh, it's not like the mail. You're getting
no.
You see, I buckled in, bought YouTube Premium, so I stopped hearing the goddamn fucking shop like a millionaire fucking bullshit fucking.
I also buckled and got an ad block.
Ad block is. I've had to stop using ad block.
I don't use ad blocks.
The OG one from like high school doesn't work anymore. I had to get a different one. It works still.
I stopped using ad blocks because I heard like it fucks with the YouTube player because YouTube is intentionally making changes to their site. So I'm like,
once they release can't remember the name, but they're coming out with some new architecture that'll like embed the ads in the video, and at that point I think it's over for ad blockers.
Yeah.
Well, ad blockers for other websites. Ad blockers are a must. You got to have some type of initial block.
Yeah, recommends ad blockers.
Yeah, but then there are sites which are like, "Oh, you're using an ad blocker, aren't you? Turn it off so we can cover the page with an ad, so you don't get to use the content which you're." Just so you don't get to read the article. Ooh.
Oh man, I can't read the article. I guess I must just go elsewhere because I don't bother with this place. Gosh.
Yeah.
YouTube Premium just seems just a little out of my range. I'm like, if it was $10, I think I'd buy it. It's $13. I'm like, I don't know. It just seems way more expensive. Maybe it's
I don't care. I ever since I bought this Premium. But ever since I bought Premium, I have not gone back, man.
What, YouTube Music? You can like download music.
You can turn off your phone.
Yeah, you can download videos. You can turn off your phone, and the video would still be playing. You could add videos to a queue. You could do
you can do that now.
I can do that with that.
Yeah. You could.
You could still do that.
No.
It doesn't take away your ability to do that, which is awesome.
I mean, without needing to make a designated playlist for videos, you can do that now. This is just me going. This is just me going off of my mobile experience.
Do they turn back on the dislike number? Is that a premium feature?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to the like and dislike.
That'd be pretty funny, to be honest. Everybody's like, we want the dislike number back.
Pay up.
They're like, yeah, it's on YouTube Premium. I think a lot of people would buy Premium, to be honest, if that comes back with it.
Fair point.
Probably.
Yeah, you're
yeah.
probably not wrong.
Uh,
But yeah, I bought YouTube Premium like many months ago, and man, I have not gone back.
Because they do a yearly thing, right? Like you can buy the yearly subscription, get like 2
Well-
months free.
Well, yeah, but I had to dump like over $100 on that, and I don't have $100
Oh,
to
okay, fair.
spend.
That's
I'd
fair.
rather just spend 13 a month instead.
Sure.
13 is more doable.
I'm just thinking about all the saving I could do.
Like,
But
look,
then you're
man,
locked in.
if you want to do the annual, go for it, man.
Oh gosh.
I'm not.
Just thinking about all the streaming services now are starting to add ads. Like, oh no.
And then add a premium that doesn't have the ads.
Yeah, so the original service, they basically just boost that up.
It's like Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah,
Guess
they,
what?
Or Netflix.
Ads?
Netflix did that too.
Amazon Prime too. Yeah. What was that, Max?
Oh, I was just saying Amazon Prime. It's like you want to pay to still have ads? Get Amazon Prime today.
My mom loves Amazon Prime. You don't understand how many boxes a day we get.
Oh, I love it too, but I'm not paying extra. I don't use
Yeah.
really Prime Video ever. I don't think.
Who does?
I use it. I
I've
use it
used
to
it
watch.
A
occasionally.
few times where there's been a movie that I
Yeah.
wanted to watch that happened to be on there, but
I use it to watch The Boys or Invincible, but that's probably
true. When Invincible's
Well,
out, I have watched that.
I should
enjoyed it.
watch
I
it.
mean,
I've heard
I
it's
guess-
good.
I guess I used it to watch Hazbin Hotel too.
I've used it to watch the Critical Role Legends of Vox Machina. They're on
Oh.
Amazon Prime. Look at that. Shout outs to all of those shows.
All those shows.
Yeah.
All those shows.
It's just crazy. Yeah. All the streaming services are just trying to nickel and dime you and slap you
Yeah.
in the face. It's quite funny. I
Yeah.
went to my parents over the weekend. We watched a movie, and I grabbed the actual physical disc that we had on the shelf, and then and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can use that." And then we had to pause the movie, and they used the Roku remote, and that just changed the input to Roku and didn't pause the movie at all. The movie still played in the background because it was on a different input. Oh, and yeah.
I have a lot of physical copies of movies. I have a wall of movies that Maddie hasn't seen that we're slowly picking through.
Nice.
I need to start my movie ventures. My family movies my family
My family movies
no, what's it called?
that we posted
movie setup, not setup. What the library?
It's a setup.
Setup. We'll go with setup. It's quite large. Is all I was trying to say.
You have a lot of
All
movies.
right.
all I was trying to get to. I don't know why it's so struggling. Goodness gracious! Somebody else
Why
speak.
was I so struggling?
Somebody else speak for me, please.
Okay, so completely unrelated to what Riley was talking about. I have Team Fortress 2 news, since I know you guys love TF2 so
Oh
much.
my gosh!
Yeah, I've played it like 5 times.
That's the soup guy, right?
What?
Why are you buying canned soup? Why
Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?
What are you talking about?
I believe you're right, Riley. Yes.
There's only soup.
There's just soap.
Yeah, it's
My
TF2,
personal
right?
favorite is the
Anyways.
bucket one.
It has a
Anyways,
bucket.
for years and years and years and years now, there has been a problem plaguing the TF2 community,
Oh,
and
not
that is the fact that bots were becoming an increasingly bigger and bigger issue
Bots?
to playing the game. Yeah, people would make botted accounts for Team Fortress 2, which would aimbot people, give them invincibility. And more recently, it got so bad to the point where there were botted accounts that would just outright ban other people from playing the game
What?
entirely.
How
does
Would they
that
just have like 7 bots
I have
repeatedly just reporting someone?
Oh,
I have
I
no
see. That's
idea.
probably it, Gavin.
Yeah. So So Valve finally decided to put on their big boy pants,
Oh, for
and
once.
they actually did something about it. They
No.
came out with an update, which is like,
They came up with their own bot.
no.
We
That's
banned him
banned.
instead. You're welcome.
So they
It's
came
called
out.
the anti-Karen bot. The more you complain, the more likely you're going to get banned.
So what happened is, like, they created a new measure where if you're detected with any sort of bots on your account, you get banned.
And for life.
And you get banned for life. That's no joke.
I would have
Like,
thought that would be like,
they even have like a Q&A thing on their website where it's like, if I get banned, will I have the ability to appeal? And they outright say no, you will not.
We're cracking down, baby.
So, yeah, and now because of that, people are actually playing TF2 and having a fun time.
Wow.
wow.
What a
Crazy.
terrible idea. The
So
whole
Valve changed something and it made the game better?
that's
like a first, I think.
unheard of.
I would have just let it fester.
Let them sort themselves out.
Now we just need that final TF2 comic.
How old is TF2 now?
It was like,
Decades?
I don't know. It was
Decades?
made in
I think it literally might be multiple decades.
Plural?
Oh my god.
Team Fortress.
Maybe Team Fortress 1. I don't know if TF2 is probably not that old.
We need
Let's see.
TF3.
2007. It's not
Ooh,
decades
oh
yet.
my gosh.
Give it
Oh.
3 years,
Years.
and then it's decades.
Yikes.
That's rough. I don't like that.
Well, time to start digging the grave.
Anyone know any good places to get caught?
You guys are so melodramatic.
This game got old. Time to start digging a grave? What are you talking about, Riley?
Because we're old.
We're old. We're old. Oh.
I have a philosophy about the I'm getting old argument. Okay?
Everybody's
Usually-
getting old.
Everybody who hears that this thing which they've known their entire lives was like from 2002, and they're like, oh man, I'm getting old, I'm like a grandpa. They're usually not old. They're usually like
They're
20,
like the youngest
30.
ones.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you have actual old people in their 50s and 60s who are like,
Remember
what?
dial-up.
Vietnam.
I think they've just accepted it. It's like, yep, they're 80 years old. Yeah, I've been old for 60 years. I'm already used to it.
It's over for me.
Woo. Oh my gosh. No, it's always funny because my sister that's 1 year younger than I always says that she's old, and I'm like, what does that make me? And then she's like,
Elderly.
you're ancient,
Ancient.
Riley. Jeez, what does that make Dad? Well, we don't talk about him.
It's not nice to talk about it at that
He's
age.
prehistoric.
Yeah, he's a dinosaur basically.
What about Grandpa? She's the moon. that's how old she is.
So honestly, she's
She's the moon. Gosh, I keep looking over at my GameCube. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was made in 2001.
Probably.
I remember when we got the Wii. And that was top of the line.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that
that was-
was amazing.
The Wii was the Wii still is.
I
pretty
never got a
good.
Wii.
2006. Oh my god.
I thought it was 2008.
No,
I remember when I was thinking I was going to be money smart and sell my Wii and my games for an electric scooter. That was the worst idea I ever had.
Oh, man,
My
I
grandparents were
I
like,
would-
"Yeah, you're getting old. You know money."
I would never trade my Wii for an electric scooter.
Oh, I thought it was such a good idea, and then I wrote it like 7 times.
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say,
was
where's the
done with
scooter
it.
today?
Scooter didn't make it. I'm sorry.
It broke down after my 7th use.
Kevin, I saved up money for a Wii U. Instead of me trading in my games for the scooter, I traded my scooter in for the games.
Nice.
Oh, I think.
Well, at that time, I still went outside every now and again.
Oh, I
There's your
didn't do
first-
that.
I mean, I went outside every now and again, but I wouldn't have given up my GameCube for the world.
My dad said go play outside, and then I went into the what's it called? Not the cubby hole. What's it called?
I don't know.
It's like
Bar?
No. I stayed inside. I just went out of sight. I found a corner and played with dominoes.
Oh, I love dominoes.
Yeah, you found a secret.
Yeah, I didn't
you found a secret room which nobody knew about.
No, I just sat on the floor so he didn't see me.
You just ducked down and you just instantly.
Oh, you must be outside playing.
Yeah, he's like,
I used to climb trees.
So did I.
I never climbed trees. I was too much of a pussy and still am.
I don't think I could climb a tree now. The tree that I used to climb has been cut down, so I can't even climb my old climbing tree.
Yeah. I was always self-aware enough to understand that if I climb that thing, I am most likely hurting myself. I'm not going to do that.
I think the worst thing that happened to me in a tree is I accidentally touched sap on the tree.
I put my hand in a colony of ants once trying to climb a tree.
No! Oh gosh!
And
But yeah, sap's pretty bad too. I agree.
oops, all ants.
Because then you try to climb down with like sappy hands, and my hand, it can't move from this this limb.
Wasn't that better grip then? Make it easier?
No, it gets stuck, and you've tried to force your hand off, and then boom.
And then boom.
You almost fall off the tree. The hand
Well, how is it like? Well,
abruptly falls.
Well, Gavin, how is it like climbing down a tree with your hand covered in ants?
Yeah.
I got them all off pretty quickly.
Shorter pants in your pants.
I did not put them in my pants.
Oh, why not?
That just didn't seem like a good location for them.
So he would put his hand in the colony, and he's like, "Oh, the best thing I could do was shove this into my pants." What?
We don't know what he was doing.
Luckily, I was probably wearing basketball shorts at the time, so it was pretty easy access there.
Yeah.
Gosh, I wore shorts this weekend, and both my parents and my youngest sister
I
said,
thought you were going to say something else right there. Both my...
No, my parents and sister were like, "Wow, he hasn't worn shorts in like 5 years."
Wow. Yeah, I normally wear jeans anymore, personally.
Like, I just don't like shorts. But it was going to be too hot, and I was going to be walking outside, and I'm just like,
I got some cargo shorts. I liked them more than I thought I would.
Like, my old job required me wearing, like, a jean-adjacent work pants every day.
Yeah.
But ever since I moved to my new job, which doesn't care what kind of pants you wear, as long as they're, I guess, work-appropriate. You know, I at one point wore jeans because it was hot as fuck outside. And I'm like, oh my god. No, not jeans, shorts.
I was going to say.
I finally wore
jeans because it was so hot.
I wore
sweatshirts.
I wore shorts because it was so hot outside, and I'm like, oh my god, why did I ever stop wearing shorts? This is great.
I knew
I had to feel the breeze on my legs.
I had one class with him, but there's this guy in college. He literally always wore shorts, and this was during like 2-ish odd years after the polar vortex.
The polar vortex?
Yeah, there was a polar vortex that hit campus, and it was like so cold that they told people like don't. They said like they canceled class because it was so cold. That the time it was
crazy.
River, you die. But this guy, he was like walking to go get like soda or something like that during the polar vortex, and apparently a police officer stopped him because he thought he was on drugs or something. The guy walking around in shorts. Okay, dude?
Like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get some soda.
No, officer, it's hi. How are you?
Gosh. Oh, my sister was complaining that my shorts were too long. Apparently, I need to be wearing golfer shorts.
Oh, yeah, my parents saw my cargo shorts and was like, those are weird. I don't know what it is about them. It's just not right. It's weird that you're wearing those shorts on you. It's just
You gotta be
weird.
showing your
Yeah,
thighs. That's what you gotta be
imagine
doing.
the police. I imagine the police like pull out the breathalyzer on that guy. He's like,
Alcohol dosage.
"Hey, look, I'm getting soda, not beer, guys. But okay, I'll take the test. All right, can you walk in a straight line? I mean,
You kidding me? I can't even do that sober.
I'd like to hurry up. It's slightly chilly out here for some reason today.
It's a little breezy, you know.
So why are you shaking? Are you nervous? No, I'm fucking cold.
That's
why are
it.
you wearing shorts then? No, why wouldn't I wear shorts?
Laundry day. I don't know, man.
I forgot to wear my jacket.
Oh, man,
That's why
it was warm in my apartment, so I thought it'd be the same. I don't know.
Oh boy, it's very cold outside. I should have brought mittens. God damn. Gee, my ears are getting oh man, I think my ears are getting a little frostbitten. I should have brought some earmuffs. God, oh boy.
I don't know why this randomly reminded me of this event, but it was when I was really,
It reminded me of an event that I remember from my childhood too. But you go first.
I was really young, and I went to a parade. I think it was like a 4th of July parade, so it was dark out.
All right.
It couldn't have been 4th of July because it was cold and wintry.
Yeah.
Okay.
4th of July in December.
So, yeah.
Oh, it could be a New Year's.
New Year's, yeah, that would make sense. And like they were throwing candy, and I had mittens instead of gloves, so I couldn't grab the candy.
No.
So little kid me was like, "Oh, screw this! Throw away my gloves. I want this candy."
The candy's worth it.
And this parade goer came up to me. I was like, "Oh my god, you don't even have gloves! It's so cold out here. Here, have this hot chocolate." And I was like, "Thanks." And my parents were trying to be like, "I'm not a bad parent." They're like, "No, but we have his gloves. He didn't want to wear them."
Honestly, that is based as fuck. I feel like I would do that today as a grown ass man. No, I get candy thrown at me in the middle of winter. Fuck the gloves. I'm getting the candy.
I want the candy.
And that's candy for free.
You think I'm calling out people's parents? Oh gosh. Oh yes, free candy.
Yeah.
Anyways, the event that Max's story reminded me of, and it's actually a very similar case, but just like not as elaborate. This must have been from my like kindergarten or preschool days. But I remember one day, it was the middle of winter. It was cold as fuck. And
as winter be.
Yep, naturally.
Yeah, we were on the playground, and there was this one kid who was decked out in shorts and a t-shirt for no reason. And I remember other kids like making fun of him for it, and he just had this very pouty look on his face. He looked so grumpy.
Well, yeah, he's fucking cold.
Even like my little undeveloped brain at the time registered that as, that's so weird that it sticks with me to this day.
Oh gosh. Now you see, my story that Max reminded me of was somebody like an attire in college. Like it was like finals day for one of my classes. I can't remember which class, but it was probably a gen ed social studies course. But somebody in front of me, I didn't notice until I finished my test. They were not wearing shoes. They had no shoes, no socks. They just waltzed into the class. I'm like, wait, where's his shoes? And then I was too engrossed into where his shoes were. I see him get up, and then he just leaves. No shoes to be found. I'm just like, where is his shoes? So
I have another story.
He just barefoot took the exam and then left, I guess.
You sure that was a kid? You sure that wasn't a kid and not some like very short homeless man?
Just taking tests.
This is college. Is this why?
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh, college.
This is college.
I was imagining like a little kid just not wearing shoes because he didn't want to.
No.
I imagine that's some like frat guy who's like, I bet I could go a whole week without wearing shoes or socks.
Got any milk?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I'm just recalling childhood stories that don't have anything to do with topics. So when I was in some sort of grade school, I remember I was wearing a sweatshirt, right?
Naturally.
And the sweatshirt had 2 pockets on each side.
Yeah.
And the pockets, the pouches for the pockets weren't attached to anything.
Okay.
So that you can move them around and whatnot.
Yeah.
And for some reason, my little kid brain was like, I should fill these pockets with leaves. That sounds like a great use for these pockets. And so I did. And then all of the kids around me were curious what the fuck I was doing. And then I got super self-conscious. I was like, I'm not doing anything.
Why are people looking at me?
Yeah.
And then they noticed I was coming.
Yeah, he says as he stuffs his hands to his leaf-filled pockets, a few leaves spill out in the process.
Exactly. So they were really curious, and I didn't want to show them. So they all started trying to see because I was hiding my pockets, and they were all like, "Oh, it's pockets! Get them!"
He's got pockets.
Leaves? What?
And for some reason, I have this song stuck in my head that I sang on that day. It has never, ever left my brain for these, I don't know, like 12 years ago-ish, probably. I flipped open the pockets, put them to my chest like they were boobies, flopped them around, ran away, and was like, "You discovered my dirty secret. I like toast and jam," and just looped that over and over and over while I was running away from a crowd of kids, giving myself floppy leaf loops.
Never compelled that to happen.
I don't know how. And then I got in trouble by the teachers because I was making fake boobies.
This story went from good to great.
This triggered a domino effect of many different of my own childhood stories.
Right?
Let me try to recollect all of them.
Oh my god!
So, I guess I'll go into the order of unlocking this did. So, story number 1. This was inspired on the topic of childhood stories being completely off topic. All right. So this was like in daycare I was in.
Oh, I love daycare.
Like,
oh my god! Oh, stories!
I can't even remember that long ago.
Well, this just spun into 2. I'll start with a short one. Okay, there were those like a giant puzzle. Those giant puzzle plates which you could stick together to make blocks or just a big tile. Or there are giant versions of those, and what I would do
Are you talking about like the foam flooring or just the children's puzzles?
Lincoln Logs or
the foam flooring.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah. Except they were plastic. Anyways, anyways, like I would stack a bunch of those on top of each other, climb to the top, and then I would say, fuck, I don't remember what I would say. I was about to say I would say crisscross applesauce, but that was a different childhood.
Of course. Yeah.
Naturally.
I'll talk about that one next. Sure. No, I'll talk about it now. Basically, like there was this one kid friend I had in like kindergarten. We played the stupid game where we would climb to the top of like monkey bars. We would like brush our hands together as we say crisscross applesauce, then jump off.
Jeez.
Until we were having so much fun until one day when it tragically came to an end. And I distinctly remember this because we were like, crisscross apple, and then he fell backwards off the monkey bars. He was quiet for like 3 seconds, and he was like, ah! There was no more crisscross applesauce after that. We were done. I saw that. I'm like, oh man, this is very dangerous.
That reminds me of
maybe it's just less smart than I thought it was.
Reminds me of some terrible recess games that we'd play.
Anyways,
story.
During the course of that of me recollecting the crisscross applesauce incident, I remembered what we called the game where I would stack the plastic tiles on top of each other and jump off. I just called it Humpty Dumpty.
Naturally.
And what I would do is I would stack these plastic foam tiles on top of each other, climb to the top. I would say Humpty Dumpty and just jump off of it. And because they were pretty short, no, I didn't hurt myself doing it. And then other kids saw me doing that, and it turned into a sort of fad where everybody
they're just like, oh heck yeah,
he's doing the Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah. Everybody in the daycare would do this with me. It was fun. We all had so much fun. And no injuries happened.
Oh,
that's surprising.
Unlike the crisscross applesauce.
Nobody sat on a wall and had a great fall. That's good.
No. It even got to the point where there were kids who would do it like without me, and I was so happy about it. I was so proud that I started this trend where everybody was having fun. And I think this was in the same daycare. They also had one of those like big rubber balls that you would sit on, and it had handles on it, and you would bounce around on them and stuff.
Love those things, yeah.
Yeah. Like, it had 2 of those, and there was this one kid who loved them. And, like, there was one day where I think one of them was already being used by another kid. So I just, like, grabbed the one that wasn't being used. And then the moment I did that, I remember, like, a... No! And he ran up to me and it started punching my chest, saying, "No, no, no!" And like my little like 4-year-old brain was looking at this dude, was like, "Well, what the fuck? Calm down, goddamn!"
Oh my gosh!
Goddamn. Now, what's the next line of the childhood?
Yeah, Gavin, you go for it.
If you want to talk about dangerous games that ended up bad,
yeah, I've got a few too.
We I think it was the same yard as the Toast and Jam story. It was the same schoolyard.
Same schoolyard.
We used to play bumper cars. I love to play bumper cars, which means you just formed an X around your chest with your arms, and you bumped into each other. Bumper cars.
Bumper cars.
Well, my friend decided to go into this little play thing where you can crawl into it, and it's like a little metal dome, and you just hang out in there, right?
Yeah.
And there's bars all around. So I was talking to him, and my little child body was just high enough for my mouth to reach the metal bar that went across it. And then, apparently, a couple of kids were playing bumper cars.
No.
So, one of them saw me as an easy target and decided to bumper cars me from the back. I proceeded to break both of my front teeth into many pieces on that metal bar.
God damn it! That just unlocked my own several tooth stories.
Oh gosh!
God damn it!
Yeah. So that was fun.
But I have
whoa!
I have since remembered the other two stories that I unlocked, and the last one, well, it doesn't exactly, but it's tangentially related to the tooth breaking stories. It kinda, not really, but the first one, this one relates to Gavin. Gavin stuffing his sweatshirt pockets full of leaves, except this time it was a story of me, stuffing my shirt full of like the playground pebbles.
Oh gosh!
What?
Yeah, like literally, all we would do is, I think it was me. I feel like Riley was involved in this too, and Kale was definitely involved.
Yeah, if Kale's involved, I probably was involved.
Yeah. Anyways, and all we would do was we would just take a bunch of rocks and stuff it in our shirts, and we would walk around pretending like we were fat.
I'm not gonna pretend.
Had to pretend then, Gavin.
Oh.
And like one of Kale's friends at the time played into it. He's like, "All right, guys, you guys are eating too many potato chips. Get out of here." And for some reason, that always stuck in my mind as a particularly unique fat insult. Just saying to a fat person, "All right, man, you're eating too many potato chips. Calm down."
Calm down over there.
Your horses.
Remember, my great grandparents had a little knit thing that said, cats are like potato chips. You can't have just one. And they had so many cats.
Yeah. Crazy. And this next one is a very short Gavin story from middle school.
I love stories about me.
It was a day when he got a buzz cut.
I did like those.
Yeah. It was in middle school. It was like one of the last days I was drawing. Gavin was like, what are you drawing? I'm like, yeah, I'm drawing stuff. So like, and then he would like clap his hands together. And then out of nowhere, like our bizarre like jock entourage, which we had at school. They came up to Gavin's like, "Whoa, he's got a buzz cut," and they would all start feeling buzz cut for no reason.
Oh my gosh! Oh man!
I probably blocked that out of my memory. That kind of doesn't sound familiar. I remember. I remember when I was a little tyke that one of my parents' friends came over and he just got a buzz cut, and my child brain, who hasn't registered boundaries yet, just rubbed his head for like 30 minutes. As
he allowed it for 30 minutes.
Well, he said multiple times, like, "Man, if I was a dog, I'd be loving you." And like, "Man, this is a lot." Like, he kept alluding, being like, "Man, you need to stop." He kept alluding to it, but I was a child. I didn't register. I was just like, interactions.
He likes this.
This guy keeps telling me how good I am at scratching his head. This is awesome.
I must keep doing it.
Amazing.
And then I never saw him again.
I wonder why.
It's like, "Hey, can I come over?" "Oh, sure. Is your kid around?" "Oh, yeah, he's here." "Oh, never mind."
I just remembered I have to see my non-existent daughter's concert recital. Bye.
Gotta go bedazzle my jellyfish.
Whoa, bedazzled jellyfish would look cool.
Anyway,
if I could say bedazzled without sounding like I'm wasted.
Oh, a bedazzled jellyfish.
A bedazzled jellyfish cries.
Crazy.
I got another playground story. This story was us playing a game. I wanted to say it was similar to the bumper cars story, but No, like it wasn't us slamming into each other. I think it was just a game of tag, which
I play tag all the time.
I admittedly things got a little bit out of hand. I was playing tag with Riley and Joey. We was having fun until one day the fun stopped and I tagged Joey a bit too hard and I accidentally slammed him into a pool. I tried,
shoved him. Gosh.
Yeah. I tried to apologize, but he ran away. Riley gave me a very disappointed look and then ran away after him. And then I spent the rest of the recess feeling so bad for myself. I'm like, oh man.
Story.
Oh man, I slammed one of my best friends into a pool, and my other best friend dished me. Everybody hates me, man. This sucks. And then later, out of nowhere, they both bump into me from opposite sides. What? You guys tricked me. You guys, I thought you guys hated me. No, you tricked me.
Why'd you leave?
But then after recess was over and we were in class because we all had the same class, Joey tattled on me for bumping into
the double, triple betrayal.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got one.
All right, go.
So apparently, when I was little, I was a mixture of an asshole and an actor. It's a great combination.
Absolutely.
And the same playground as the other stories.
Yeah.
I had two good friends, Jack and Jonathan, but not the Jack we know.
Different Jack.
Yeah. And we were playing. I don't remember what we were doing. I don't remember if I tripped and fell or if I was pushed over. But I ended up on the ground. And our playground, for some reason, part of it was dirt at the time. And in the dirt was a giant rock.
Oh, no.
So I purposefully moved about, 6 inches to the right to lay my head on the rock. And then I just didn't move. And eventually my friends got concerned because I was on the ground not moving with my head on a rock. They told the teacher. The teacher came over while I was still not moving. And they both, one arm around each shoulder of both of my friends, walked me to the nurse's office.
You still weren't moving on purpose?
Yeah, well, no, at that point I was like, oh, I'm up and I'm fine now. And they're like, no, you're not. You were down on the ground, passed out.
You were in too deep at this point.
It's like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm fine. Like, no, you're not. We're taking you to the nurse. It's like, oh,
I'm good, guy.
Okay.
That story just unlocked 3 more.
I've been stewing out a few of my own, so let me interject here.
Right,
I know. Max hasn't said anything in 20 minutes.
Maybe,
one or two stories I can tell.
Right,
I didn't go to public school. So
Riley, you get 1. Max, you get a half, and then we go again.
Well, I was thinking back to the amazing recess time that I had at good old intermediate school. Kind of a two-parter here. The one that rings the bell to me.
You're pushing it.
They're both quick ones. So the ones that ring a bell to me is I love swinging a lot. So we did a lot of swings.
Oh, yeah.
And
roadkill. Is that
yes, that's exactly what I'm going into. So people started making games like, we could just avoid, we can run through the people when they're swinging, and it'll be great. So everybody, I don't know who started the game. Who knows? But everybody started playing it, and oh boy, when you get hit, oh boy,
I don't remember ever getting hit personally.
I got hit once.
I don't think I got hit from doing that, but I feel like I should have.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a completely unrelated swing-related story in which I did get hit, but in a much stupider way.
Oh, good.
Gosh, but the second part is good old intermediate school with its recess. They had the umbrella, and
oh yeah,
that umbrella
was awesome.
That umbrella
is the story I'm thinking of.
Is a terrible umbrella. So Max, do you know about the umbrella? I have no idea. It's oh gosh,
It's a whirligig.
So it's basically like you got a metal pole, which is like the pole of the umbrella, yeah. And the umbrella part, the dome part, was also metal.
Yeah.
No, there's a meme about it online about somebody flying off and hitting their nuts on a adjacent plaything.
It's a tilted umbrella.
Yeah, I mean, basically,
you grab the bottom.
Imagine a merry-go-round, except
in the air. So much safer.
Yeah.
So there'd be a whole line, and people would get on the bottom, and they swing across, and it keeps picking up more and more momentum, and everybody gets back into the giant line, because they had so much fun the first time. But every so often, somebody goes flying off the umbrella.
That's not the story
I was one of them.
The only person I really remember flying off. Well, I don't remember the person. I just remember they hit like a tree that was nearby, and they were done for the day. They were. I think they broke a bone. They flew so hard into the tree.
The thing I remember is when people would fly up, and then people would get too close, so they would suddenly receive a shoe to the jaw.
Then some people don't let go.
Yeah. Those are the people who flew up.
I remember distinctly 3 stories about that thing. One was like there was like a clique of girls who.
I can't relate to this story.
I can't relate either.
Yeah, this was before I knew about the lion policy, but there was like a clique of girls who were taking turns on the umbrella. Yeah,
line.
Yeah, the line.
Oh, line. I thought you said lion.
And then,
wait your turn, motherfucker.
And then I saw that there was an open space on the umbrella, so I just went for it. And the entire time while it was spinning, all those girls were just yelling at me, calling me names and stuff. And to this day, I do not regret it.
I suppose it's probably better than covering one of them in milk.
I mean, I did that to Malachi.
Yeah, Malachi got milked.
Yeah. Okay. Quick Malachi milk story. I was
talking about Austin.
What? Austin got milked?
That's more of a you story, Gavin. You can tell that one. But anyways, it was during intermediate school school lunch class. Lunch class.
I love lunch class.
My favorite class.
I learned the most there.
I don't know what
the crud was the sorry. Max, are you running your 3D It sounded like a siren was going off.
Yeah. Oh, that was me squeaking the filament roll.
Oh, so what's your picture?
Anyways, I don't know what compelled me to do this, but I decided I wanted to pour like a drop of milk down Malachi's neck for absolutely no reason at all.
Because it'd be funny.
Yeah. And then I tipped the carton a bit too much and poured like a quarter.
Absolutely.
And then Malachi was like, dude, what the heck? And then the teachers saw me do that. They got mad. And I was forbidden from recess until the lunch period was over. So I had to sit in the office playing with my old Transformers. And Malachi wasn't even mad about it. He was just confused. But I did not regret what I did back then.
No remorse.
Yeah.
That's great.
There we go.
Okay, Max, you gotta
you gotta cut it in here, brother.
Cut in. You said you got 2 stories here.
My amazing stories.
They're not too long, but I remembered 2. Because again, my public school stint didn't start till 8th grade, so all my childhood stories are me and my brothers. But 2 core memories from my early public school days. One is my very first day of middle school, and in hindsight, it was kind of a little drippy. But my mom was like, this is the outfit that you're gonna wear for your first day of 8th grade, and it was I can't remember what I was wearing on top, but I just remember the pants was a bright orange pair of
like khaki pants.
That was the right choice.
It was like a really heavy material and like bright orange.
Bright
That was
orange.
my outfit for my first day.
You gotta stand out. You gotta stand out, man.
Right?
Yep.
Now you'd be a legend. Back then, I'm sure you were pretty ridiculed.
Yeah, back then, like this new kid comes in. This guy's like the most stupidly dressed kid they've ever
He's
seen.
got red hair, freckles,
Yeah,
nerd
and I had like
glasses,
a
bright
brown corduroy jacket that I loved so much, and so I was like brown, and red, and orange. I was just
Oh
like,
man, a ginger with matching pants. Let's go.
yeah, it must have been so bad. And then the other one I just remember, Blake. I was walking down the hallway back to class with him one day, and he was like, "Max, you need to stand up straight." And he just kind of like grabbed my back and just kind of went like, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm actually tall," because I was always so hunched over that I was like,
you were slouching your entire life until that moment.
no, literally, I was so hunched over, and then he's like,
Once you
hunched
saw-
over, he fixed it, and then ever since then, I've been like, wow.
Once you saw that you could see the people's heads, you never went back.
Oh, that also reminds me. It's actually crazy. When I moved to high school here, like people are significantly taller.
What?
Like in the old high school, like where I finished high school, like everyone was so short. Like I was like significantly taller than everyone.
What are you talking about?
You know, you gotta expose me like that, man. Come on.
No, he's saying we're the tall ones, Gavin.
Yeah, you
I
got.
am not.
I remember I was like a little taller, but I was like kind of just average there. And then I moved high schools, and literally, like I'd walk through the hallways, I could just see above everybody.
Jesus Christ. Damn, that's
Like,
wild.
jeez, didn't know everyone was so short around here.
Like, Riley, I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for you, I would be the shortest person in the group.
Aren't we the same height?
I'm pretty sure
I believe we're pretty damn close.
I believe I'm
pretty sure
5'9" and a quarter, if I'm
I believe
remembering
I'm
right.
around there too.
I'm like 5'8.5", probably.
Really?
I'm
Basically,
yeah, I'm
US
the
average,
shortest.
Oh, sorry,
I'm
Max.
the
What was that?
shortest height.
I just said that's basically like the U.S. average height.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I think Cameron's taller because of his afro. That must
be. That's why he's not considered one of the shortest. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Spike your hair up in a straight line. So I'm like 6'3".
That's why I started swooping my front half so to get that extra height.
Extra height.
Get that Jimmy Neutron look going.
Ah. Yeah, I always think.
Yeah.
I always think that my eldest brother is so tall, but I've recently learned I'm like the same height as him. I just haven't seen him in years.
Oh,
so
your eldest?
yeah,
Wow.
I haven't seen him.
You
in
caught
years.
up then, I guess.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, you were not as tall as him.
Yeah,
And he was
exactly.
taking off his pants in front of us.
Anyway, I
was not ready for that.
Anyways, I'm sure you guys have been waiting for my amazing story in which I injured myself with a swing in the most dumb way. So, I don't know why I was doing this. I must have been just bored out of my fucking mind, but I decided to take an empty swing and start, like, throwing it, shoving it, pushing it as hard as I could. And then somebody distracted me. I'm like, oh, hey. And then at that moment, the side of the swing nailed me in my fucking and I had like a fucking welt on my forehead for like a week.
I have a similar story of somebody embarrassing me because they noticed what I was doing.
Okay.
Did Max want to go first?
I can keep mine brief because if I go into details, it'll take forever. I remember the story pre public school when I was in North Dakota, so I can dox my location a little more. It was
your current one, so it's fine.
This like art thing that happened at this lake. It was like one of the few lakes in North Dakota, and there was like a kind of event center and some buildings and a mini golf course and a playground and stuff. It was like the kind of like little local area community hub type thing.
Yeah.
There was some big art event of the year, and all the young kids were there at this playground. I mean, it's North Dakota, so it's a pretty expansive area. It's all wooded and stuff. And somehow, the entire group, the girls and the guys, all decided that it was time for a stick war. And so everyone grabbed sticks. It was like a 40-kid stick battle, and like people were sword fighting. Like we were like, there was no holding back. Like you got your stick and you just started going after it.
Jeez.
And then one of the girls
I had a friend who did something like that, but I never did anything like that.
Parents came over.
I did something like that.
Stop playing this; it's gonna get hurt. But yeah, the stick wars, that was amazing.
The stick wars.
I used to take like a thin, nimble twig and use it to like slice the tops of dandelions off like I was a sailor.
Oh yeah. I did that with like 6-foot thistles that we grew on our farm. Yeah.
Nice.
Pigweed, I think. They were really tall plants, and when they died, they became super brittle, but they'd be like 6-7 feet tall. And we'd just take sticks and we'd pretend they were battle droids, and we'd spend like all day.
There was this random large brick, like just outside of the garage of my childhood home, and I had this friend, like in like the next neighborhood over. We would hang out every once in a while, and one of the games we would play is like we would take this big brick I had. We called him Brick. And then we would have this like
creative,
in hindsight, sadistic game where I would be Brick and he would be like the little pebbles we smashed the brick with. And be like,
Brick versus Pebble.
Please don't do this. Like, I'm Brick, I smash. And we would just shatter the pebbles of that brick.
Oh
and that's all we would do.
Whoa! What a great
the
game.
One day, his dumbass decided to try and test the waters by grabbing the pebble just as I was smashing the brick down. And surprise, I got his fingies. And he's like, dude, you pulverized them. And 10 seconds later, he cried and ran back inside. But we were cool the next day.
That's good.
Yeah.
I remember I had a pet rock that I named Rocky when I was little.
Classic pet rock.
There was a rock at college that was stuck in a grate that I called the Great Rock. It got removed my senior year, though.
Damn.
Oh,
I think a frat house took it. So I think the Great Rock lives on, but they moved
it. Honestly.
Great Rock throne in some building.
He joined a frat team.
He joined the frat.
Anyways, the story of Brick has a pretty tragic ending, though.
No,
I mean, somewhere along the way, he got a loving wife, which was, I don't remember her name, but she was like a little rubber mallet. Anyways, but at some point, we realized that
it's Mallet.
Yeah, we realized.
My god!
No.
Woo!
That got me off guard. Anyways, like I'm pretty sure at some point I drew like a dumb face on Brick. Anyways, like we realized that there was like this big crack through the middle of Brick's body because we've been smashing him with so many rocks that he was starting to wear on.
No murdering.
We decided Brick should go out with a bang. And we played out like this whole tragic death scene. It was like, remember me for all the rocks that I've destroyed. And then we threw him onto the driveway as hard as we could, and he broke in half. That was the tragic end of Brick.
Remember me.
Oh,
gosh.
Anyways, that has nothing to do with the amazing stories of how I broke my front 2 teeth numerous times.
Oh, you did that too?
I have a tooth story as well.
Oh,
I only have 2 stories that I was so deathly.
All right, let me start off because I have the worst tooth story. Because shut up, everybody.
All right.
I had a loose tooth once upon a time.
Oh.
And my genius idea was for me to go up to my mom and just put my tooth on her shoulder.
Oh,
My wiggly tooth.
no.
And she was like, "What are you doing? Get off of me!" and pulled her shoulder away. And it fell onto the ground of the Walmart tile.
Oh.
So good.
All right.
Well,
Clear, I set the stage. Go ahead, everybody else.
all right. Well, mine's gonna have a bit of build up and like during. Okay, this is the pre-story. This is before the tooth breakings actually happened. These are
I
just
like the
other.
pre-story.
These are just like tooth-related incidents before the first.
The
before
major
what I
event.
like to call the first chip.
The tooth thing. Oh, the first chip's way better.
Yeah. Anyways,
You're bad at
so-
naming things, Riley.
I know. It's gonna
So
call
this
it the
first
tooth in it.
story, I think this was the same playground as the crisscross applesauce incident.
Yes.
And for some reason,
Notorious.
and I was feeling a little devious that day. And my dastardly evil scheme was
Wow.
to grab like some of the playground sand, dump like a good handful of it on playground equipment, snicker like
Like a villain.
It is.
yeah?
Yeah. and then make my grand getaway. And I was going for the big score in this moment. I grabbed my handful of sand and I was going for the top of that slide. I scale up the slide steps and then I dump the sand on top of the slide and like whoever is going down this slide is going to get sand on their pants. And then my foot slipped and I fell down the stairs. And I'm pretty sure this isn't how it happened in the moment, but for some reason my mind remembers me dangling by a single tooth on the steps. I'm like, ah! And then from the perspective of my mind, I suddenly have a popsicle and the foster care parents I was with at the time, like pulled like into the school's driveway at that moment. I'm pretty sure the way it played out was completely different from how I remember, but that's just the way I remember it, and that's way more funny. This next one is a baby tooth story, which Gavin made me remember, and
You're
like
welcome.
this one, there's no like there's no excitement with this. This is just like I was eating a cherry pie.
Memory.
Oh my gosh, that made me remember something.
I was eating. I was eating one of those cheap gas station square shaped cherry pies.
Oh, those are
And
good.
then I was like, "Oh, why is there something hard in this pie?"
Oh my
It
god.
happened to me with cheese quesadillas
too.
so many times.
Yes, I spit it out. I'm like, "Whoa, what is this? Is this my tooth? What? When did this fall out?" Like, I kid you not, I was eating that pie and it lodged my baby tooth out of my mouth, and I didn't fucking notice until I noticed that I was chewing on a tooth.
Oh my
Anyway.
god. Yes, I
Anyways,
have a similar story
I have
to that.
a very
free-
similar story to
you guys
that.
Free to share your cherry pie stories before I get into the first chip.
All right, I'll steal Riley's time first.
Oh.
I apparently had a loose tooth at the time, and I was eating a ham sandwich.
All right.
And I was just munching on it and crunching on it. And then I also bit into something really hard, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck was that?" So I searched my mouth, and I couldn't find anything. So I kept chewing, kept swallowing, kept chewing.
Oh no.
Until I reached the end of it, and I was like, "Oh, there that hard thing is. What the hell is that?" And yes, just like you, it was my tooth, my very own tooth. I had to bite it twice before I realized that it was a tooth, and I swallowed some of the food before I realized it was the tooth. But yeah,
How do you guys not realize you lost a tooth?
I don't know.
I have
What's
no
your
idea.
story then, Mister? How do you not realize?
I don't like caramel. And I think this
I
is
don't
the
either.
I think
agree
this
with
is
you.
the reason why.
I think that's the right decision.
As a kid, my mother had made carameled apples, and I think I had a loose tooth at the
I
moment.
hate caramel apple.
And
go ahead.
I love apples. I think I liked
I love
caramel at the
apples.
time, but I'm like, I had to have a tooth so we and I don't know if the sorry, it's the baby talk, not
Yep.
appropriate.
Well, help me with the visualization. I don't know.
It's just how I talked, My teeth is I can't. But yeah, so I think my brothers egged me on. It's like, come on, Wiley, you're not gonna eat the apple. Look, we're gonna eat the apple, and they started eating their apples. And then I'm like, okay, I would take the bite of the. Ah! And my tooth got lodged into the apple, and I'm just like slobbering over this apple. Ah! As the apple's still in my mouth, and the tooth is just falling into the apple. I'm like, ah! I told you guys I should have had the apple.
I'm pretty sure every time you screamed, you cut out.
Okay, so do you guys remember when I brought licorice to school?
I don't remember, but go on.
I brought licorice to school. Some red vines, I believe.
All right.
And I was biting them and ripping them out of my mouth over and over again because that's how you eat red vines.
That is how I imagine you eating a red vine.
And in front of it, at least Riley, I remember, I bit and ripped it out of my mouth, and I ripped a tooth straight out of my mouth with it.
That's crazy. Amazing.
Pretty awesome.
Riley's baby voice made me remember.
Wait, Max could have his tooth.
I'm just saying it reminded me of something.
Well, we know what happens when this provides.
Mr. Max.
My tooth story is that I was deathly afraid of blood in my mouth.
Oh,
okay,
so
interesting.
I hated my loose teeth because they would oftentimes fall out and there'd be even just a tiny little bit of blood. And it bothered me so much that I stopped telling my parents when I had loose teeth because then they'd be like, oh, is your tooth out yet? Or, oh, let's get your tooth out. And so at one point,
rip it out.
I think I had 2 or 3 loose teeth in my mouth at a time because one of them was loose for over a month.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
And I would avoid eating on one side of my mouth.
Oh my God.
If I ate, it would start moving the tooth around, and I got really good at reseating the loose tooth back on top.
I have a similar thing with the side of I chew on, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Max is like, you stay the fuck in there.
No, I was I'd keep them in there. It kind of came back to bite me later on because I remember one time when I didn't have braces, I didn't really understand that it wasn't normal for your teeth to kind of all be bunched up and weird. And so I was
well, that's what my teeth are now.
I still had a loose tooth that had never come out. And it, of course, ended up just being that my teeth needed to be straightened, and it just was way out of whack. But it was such an out of whack tooth. I thought it was a loose tooth that still had just never come out, and I would have nightmares that my teeth was rotting underneath.
Oh my God, you had those nightmares too?
Yes,
I had my rotting teeth nightmares as well. Oh, it was terrible.
Awful.
You guys are weirdos.
I could feel them disintegrating in my mouth. For me, it was disgusting.
Baby teeth were such a non-issue for me until they actually happened.
I'm pretty sure that's the same with everybody, yeah.
I do have another baby tooth story. I think this one actually ties into the dastardly slide incident. I feel like me hanging off that step, at least that's how it played in my mind, forced, it fast forward the baby tooth process for that particular tooth, and it made it really loose because I remember after I got that popsicle and after the foster parents came to pick me up, the next thing I remember is me in the dentist with the dentist pulling my fucking tooth out.
No, just talking about dentists remind me of a story.
I wonder what the title of this episode's going to be.
I've already got some ideas.
Childhood trauma.
Tuesday Mondays.
I already have a podcast named Childhood Stories, so.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Damn.
They can call it childhood trauma. Anyways, Riley, you said you have a story related to dentistry?
Yeah. I still have that other tooth story, but I'll go to the dentist one first because I hate that dentist. We went out of town to the dentist because it was supposed to be a good childhood dentist. So my whole family
going out of town for medical things. Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah. So I think I had to get either a tooth pulled or a cavity filled. I can't remember, but I was under the dentist, and the dentist assistant was there, and the dentist told me, okay, now if you feel any pain, just raise your arm. And then they started, and then I'm like, oh no, I feel pain, so I rose my arm, and the nurse lady just swatted the arm down. She like pushed that thing back down, and I'm like, oh, was I not supposed to raise my arm? And then the pain started, and then I started raising my arm, and then she swatted it down again. I think she gave me a look or something, because I didn't do it again after the fact. I'm like, I guess I'll just deal with the pain.
And that reminded me of another dentist story. I
have a dentist story.
I think this one was like, I don't remember what this one was for. I think this was like to fill cavities. All I remember is that they would put these clamps around my teeth, and I didn't like the way it felt.
Yes, that's what happened to me. That's my story.
The smiley clamps.
I have no idea. All I remember is like there were these clamps they put around. They put these clamps around my teeth. I did not like it. And I eventually whined so much that they were, all right, you know what? We're done. We're done with the procedure.
You guys have like Saw as your dentist?
Well,
what the hell's going on?
A similar thing happened to me. They were like, oh, we have these clamps. They're just going to give your teeth a bear hug.
Oh, my.
Like, oh,
A
okay.
bear mauling, maybe.
That sounds fine, I guess. And then they started wrenching on them, and they had this plastic thing in my mouth. And I was like, oh, it hurts. And like tears started coming down my face. And I was like, oh, it hurts. And then they started vacuuming. And they're like, what are you vacuuming? It's like, oh, just access blood. And I was like, I'm blood.
Dude, that shit was like fucking. That shit was like they shoved needles in between.
Yeah,
that's
my
god, so bad.
Oh.
I hated that so much.
Anyways, to answer you, Max, yes, we do have Saw as our dentist.
They're fucking vacuuming blood out of your mouth and putting giant clamps in there. Gee.
I'm so scared. Like, what does blood do? What?
That said, my experiences with that same dentist, I believe, from fixing my numerous broken teeth incidents, were significantly more pleasant, because all they did for that was numb my mouth, grind down the teeth, and put a cap on it. That's all they did. My mouth would just be numb for like the entire rest of the day, and I would be told not bite.
Do you remember trying to use straws while your lips were numb?
Oh gosh, that's the worst. I can't feel the straw.
I don't think I ever used straws, but
I did.
I don't think you're.
I was so numb after my wisdom teeth came out. I was just drooling like a dog.
Well, wisdom teeth.
For wisdom teeth,
you can't use a straw.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, mine were horizontal.
I ate noodles right after I got my wisdom teeth taken out because they were soft, and then about a week and a half later, after doing the spray, once it healed enough, I found a noodle lodged in there.
Oh,
so there was a rotting noodle in my cavity for a while.
I think I had tacos after I
lost.
Tacos. Maybe not after wisdom teeth, but after I got some teeth pulled, we had a taco.
I remember fettuccine Alfredo because I was like, oh, that's soft. I can eat that.
I was so.
I remember there was one day after one of my chip incidents, where like I didn't want to eat anything which required me to bite because my tooth was broken. So
makes sense.
I pulled some leftover. I don't remember what it was. I think it was beef stroganoff.
Oh,
I
that's
pulled
delicious.
I pulled some leftover beef stroganoff from the fridge, and I just ate it cold. I don't remember.
Tasty.
I remember just enjoying how that.
I'd do that. Yeah, that
Cold.
sounds decent enough.
Like, oh, this is so good. All right. Anybody else have any stories before I get to the first chip?
I gotta pee.
All right, you can go to the bathroom first, and then I'll share the first chip story.
Hey, Max, do you have any wisdom teeth story?
Well, no, just that mine were horizontally covering up some other teeth. They were like laying on top of them. Like, yeah, these got to come out. There's the teeth underneath that are trying to move. And
you got weird teeth in there. They want to. You got to get these ones out so the other ones can come in.
Yep.
High stake property.
I feel like wisdom teeth are one of those evolutionary things which just exist to.
Huge L.
Yeah. Like we got. Like, what else do we have? We got the tailbone that does nothing. We got
one of my coworkers, his wife had to get her gallbladder removed.
Oh yeah,
which sounds like it was pretty brutal, like leading up to. But I was like Googling because what does the gallbladder do? And it was just like the gallbladder does whatever. If it has any issues, just get it removed. And I just thought it was funny, like how nonchalantly it's like, oh yeah, just get rid of it.
The gallbladder has very little purpose.
Like it does something. Yeah, but it was just so confident. It was just like, yeah,
it's
just
a vestigial organ. You don't need it.
All 5 fingers? Come on, everyone knows 3 is where it's at.
Which 3?
You gotta have the thumb, and the index finger.
I'd say thumb, pointer, and middle.
Yeah,
I could get by with those. I could get by writing with those if I had to.
Yeah, I could get rid of the ring finger and the pinky finger. Just I think I can operate with just.
But then you could never put a ring on that ring finger.
I could put it on my middle
pointer.
finger or my pointer.
I use my ring finger to stabilize my pencil when writing.
My sister grips her pencil like it's going to run away. It's ridiculous.
Oh, sorry. I blame it on my left-handedness, but it's probably just my grip. So I guess I can't blame it on my left-handedness.
No, I can't.
All right, I can only get away from it.
Are y'all ready for the first chip?
The
there's an ant. Yeah, get out of here. Anyways.
I got ant traps, so I haven't seen an ant since that fateful podcast day.
Nice. Anyways,
spray my lawn for ants.
So
the chipning.
The first chip. This was back in first grade, and we were playing tag, and in a bit of karmic justice, I wasn't slammed into a pole, but I wasn't paying attention, and I ran into a pole. Probably the same pole that I pushed good old Joey into. And that was the first chip. I busted my tooth. I was crying. I wasn't happy. It hurt a fuck ton. Because apparently, teeth have nerves in them. I didn't know that until that moment.
Nerve of these things.
Oh, yeah, they do.
But I also remember trying to keep up some kind of like tough boy acts, like, yeah,
walking in,
whatever. I didn't do nothing. And I remember like Riley's sister lecturing me, like, "Come on, tell Felicity, she's your friend."
Who the heck is Felicity? That does not ring a bell.
His friend, apparently.
She was a girl. She was a girl who had a crush on me in first grade.
Oh.
Anyways, so you know, that was the first chip. I don't remember like when the second chip happened, but this is just the second broken tooth I remember. But I was walking home, I wasn't paying much attention, and I shit you not, I walk right into a parked fucking car and broke my tooth that way. And because And because I was like halfway down the block from my house at that time, I just immediately ran home like,
I probably would too, honestly.
The third chip incident that I can remember, this one was probably broken through the dumbest way.
the parked car.
That's not the dumbest way.
Running into a parked car is not the dumbest way.
Ooh,
okay.
So no, it can get dumber.
Because this one, I was just chewing on a plastic Jello cup, and then, surprise, surprise, I snapped the cap off my broken tooth.
Oh my gosh, you've had some Is it the same tooth?
I broken both of my front teeth numerous times.
So these are front teeth.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Those seem to be the ones most likely to be broken.
Yeah, they are. I know from experience that
that's what I broke too.
Maybe chipped one of my canines once, but I've never broken one.
Yeah, I don't think I've.
And then the fourth chip, I don't even understand how this one happened, but I was just doing my business. I was eating. This one was probably the most recent chip because I remember getting this one fixed as an adult. It might have been shortly after I moved back to hometown USA, and something happened, which I think I was eating something which caused my teeth to grind, and like one of my front teeth, it grinded over like one of my bottom teeth, which was ever so slightly jutted a teeny bit above the rest of the bottom teeth. And that was enough to snap a significant portion of that porcelain cap off my tooth. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
It's been years since I felt this. I didn't want to feel it again.
Oh boy.
Well, that does sound awful.
Yeah. And at some point, that happened again, but I only broke like a tiny corner, which I'm not bothering to fix even to this day until I lose the entire cap.
Yeah, until you hit the nerve.
Until you start to feel it.
You haven't hit the nerve yet.
I haven't broken it further. It's just a tiny corner of the tooth, which is just still gone. But there's definitely at least one more chip that happened. I just don't remember it.
Yes, I don't think I know I've broken braces before. I snapped a brace with an animal cracker.
Oh,
that wasn't on the
head braces, but I definitely need them.
Yeah, it was a good time in high school. Highly recommend. But my tooth losing story, since I can finally get to my back to my story. Talking about my brother earlier reminded me that he helped me lose a tooth, and now I despise the yes, helped in quotation marks there. But yeah, we were riding home on the bus, as one does, because we live so far away from the city. So we're on the bus, and we're on our gravel road. Gravel road's nice and bumpy. So we turned into the gravel road, and we're only like a half mile away. And my eldest brother, he's like, "Oh, well, you think you got something on your shirt?" And of course, the classic. I look down, and he goes, "Up!" And he had a glove on, and it was a dirty glove. And he slapped my tooth. The tooth jolts out. It gets a piece of straw stuck between like the tooth and the gums. The tooth is like dangling by a thread. I'm like, ah! And he's like, ah! And then it was our stop.
Wait, when was this?
This was probably like third-ish, fourth-ish grade. It wasn't.
I remember back in like elementary school, there was this one kid who lived on a farm, and there was like this field trip organized to go to his farm specifically?
Do I know that person?
I want to say it was Matthew.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, I do know him. But yeah, it was a sheep farm.
Yeah, I remember them showing off like their wool stuff.
Yeah, he lives on a big sheep farm in the pretty far.
Their wooling equipment.
The country, but they were doing medical research on the sheep, technically the lambs for was it the Parkinson's disease? I think.
Damn.
Some lambs have like a genetic encoding on them that they could extract from the lamb and assisted with it. I don't know all the science stuff.
I remember at the end of the field trip, he invited like anybody in the class who wanted to go to come hang out at his farm for the night. And I feel like you were one of them, Riley.
Do I have a story at his house? Gosh.
I just gotta interrupt real quick. Riley, you were kind of cutting out. Did I hear sheep and magnetic encoding?
Genetic.
Oh, okay. It was like magnetic. I was like, what are they doing to these sheep, dude?
Infuse them with lead.
Pumping them full of.
So you have a
at his house I had spent the night, at least one. I think I spent the night, maybe not after this event, but we were playing was it Ghosts in the Graveyard or something, where it's dark and then one person hides and then everybody else goes around with their flashlights looking for them, and then once they're spotted, the person charges. So I was hiding and they spotted me, and I stood up, immediately hit the air conditioner I was hiding underneath, and just started bawling. It was so bad, and that's all I remember from that that night.
You never went to Matt's house again after that.
Oh yeah, we probably should be wrapping this up. I think this is headed on to one of our longest episodes.
I have one more Matt related story.
Sure, go for it.
So this was still in elementary school, because I'm pretty sure that's the last time I remember ever interacting with him. But I don't know why or how. Well, I probably know why and how, is because he was part of the jock clique, or what would eventually become the jock clique. I don't know. I remember he was really into football, like all the other jocks were. And actually, that just made me remember one more story, which I forgot about. But I remembered it back when Gavin was talking about his amazing fake die from rock story. But anyways, this Matthew story short, basically, something led to me saying my two favorite, quote unquote, favorite football teams. And I'm not a sports guy. I don't give a two fucks about football. So I just chose my dad's favorite football team and Riley's favorite football team. And I'm like, well, I like the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. And Matthew's like, no, you can't. They're two of football's biggest rivals. You can't have them together on a list. And even my little 7-year-old mind was like, why not? And sometimes I'll pop up back in my mind and I'm like, bro, imagine if somebody's ranking all his favorite Naruto characters and he has Sasuke at number 2 and Naruto at number 1. Like, no! You can't have that together on the list. You have to have one or the other. You can't have both. that just stands out as a particularly fun memory.
Oh god, that just reminds me of my little brother saying, "Boo Minnesota, go Vikings!" It just made my dad burst out laughing. Oh.
Incredible. Anyways, time for the one which is related to the Gavin fake dying to rock story. Except this one is very real. And it's also going to be the last Mecha Child Tale of
tonight.
podcast episode. Yeah. Can't promise it's gonna be the last one ever. It's just the last one from me tonight. I don't know if anybody else has any other
Let
amazing.
Max have the final say.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what I'd say.
Anyways, so like we was doing a bit of roughhousing. Okay? No, there's this game we'd play where we would just like just kind of wrestle in the schoolyard. No, it was me and some of the people in the jock clique. For some reason, all of the jocks in school liked me, despite the stereotypes of jocks beating up the nerds and shoving them to
Nerds.
the jocks were like my fucking biggest fans, and I to this day don't understand why. But anyways, no, we was playing, we was wrestling, and two other people were watching this from a distance. Two other kids. It was Gage and I think the other guy was Louise. I think his name was. I don't remember.
I don't know.
But anyways, they saw it from a distance and they thought that they were bullying me. So like, one of them ran up to Sean, who is probably the nicest one in the group, ironically enough, shoved him, and he hit his head pretty hard on the concrete.
Ooh.
And like he didn't like crack open his skull or anything, but he had to get staples in his scalp.
Gosh.
Oh,
Because it was bleeding pretty bad.
That'll show you to pick on somebody.
And then, like, the principal, Mr. Feebler, he had to call us in. Like, everybody who was involved in that incident, he had to call each of us in to get everybody's side of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's the one who told me, yeah, so these two thought that they were bullying you. So, you know, and like, oh man, we were just playing, we were just wrestling. And then he said, which will never happen again. I'm like, yeah, but to be fair, it didn't happen again. But I basically said, yeah, we were just like wrestling like near the back of the school. And then, suddenly these guys came up and tackled the dude to the ground.
Oh boy.
And that's how we lost a very fun school event.
The after school wrestling.
All right, I have two mini stories relating to the umbrella that I just remembered. These are the last ones, I promise. Okay, the first one relates to me. I meant to tell these back when the girls were making fun of me, but I forgot to. But anyways,
Gavin's not back yet, so
yeah. The first one is a me-related story, which like I flew off the umbrella. I landed very weird. It hurt quite a bit. And I stood up like, yeah, I think I'm done for the day, guys. I think I'm done.
Is everybody else is still going?
And then
I'm paying attention.
And then like I remember like it not being that bad at first, but as the day went on, I'm like, oh fuck, this is getting worse. And to the point, like when I was walking home after school, it got so bad that I was just fucking just bawling and screaming as I was limping my way back home, which is like 8 blocks away from the bus stop. And I remember like this random lovely old couple came out of their house because they heard this fucking random 8-year-old kid like crying at the top of his lungs. They drove me home. And then my mom happened to get home from work basically like at that exact time. My mom's boyfriend at the time had me in the car. My mom took a look at my foot, so I was like swollen as fuck. She says, let's get him to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I had to walk around on crutches for like, I don't know. I don't remember how long I had to do it, but I had to walk around on crutches because my foot was fucked up. It wasn't broken or anything, but goddamn, it hurt like hell. And it was not pleasant. And the other Umbrella story is relating to Riley, and this is the one I thought he was going to tell.
Oh
But
boy.
like he was not he flew off into, I believe, the same tree he mentioned in his story. Except instead of like breaking a bone like that other guy did, Riley just got his shirt really dirty, and he decided he was done because of that.
It's over. My life's ruined.
I remember you were so upset about getting your shirt all dirty.
That I get flown across and hit a tree.
You were so mad that you just I think you just stopped having fun for like the rest of that recess.
For the rest of my life, I never had fun ever since.
I've never smiled since.
All right, no more stories. I promise. I'm out. I'm out of stories.
Well, it's not even a story. It's just what I've been multitasking on for the last hour here. Working on my Wii Remote product.
Oh yeah.
And I've been in the process of moving my projects over to ESP32 instead of Arduino. ESP32 is a lot more modern. So like I was having issues with like voltages just weren't matching because I was using modules that are like a decade newer than Arduino. And this thing has Bluetooth built into it and Wi-Fi. And I discovered that the Bluetooth, to get it sending data from the little processor to my computer, is like in total between the processor and the computer, like maybe 30 lines of code, versus the code I wrote currently uses 4 radio modules, 2 for sending, 2 for receiving.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a 32 byte limit for each packet. And so there's like a bunch of code on either end that like it's like 2 Arduinos that talk to each other and then like have to split and reassemble data in a 32 byte chunks.
Oh.
And it's like hundreds of lines of code, and now it's going to go down to like 8.
It's
just,
it's gonna be
it
so much
is
quicker.
so amazing. Yeah, it's literally crazy. And it's
very similar to my classroom experience of our teacher trying to teach us a new way to code and me using the old way. I was like, all right, after about 125 lines of code, I can do just about what you want us to do, more or less. And he's like, all right, cool. And then deleted everything and did about 4 or 5 lines of code and completed what he wanted. And I was like, okay, cool. That's awesome.
I've got the opposite
Which I did.
story.
I'm glad that you did it so easily. That's awesome. Love it, man.
It was freshman year of college. I was taking this class on C++. And I just looking back at how bad I was as programming, I failed one of the questions on the final because it was a question about for loop, and I couldn't like mentally understand what was going on in the for loop. Doing so poorly on that test is what made me get into like Python programming over the summer because it made me so angry that I didn't understand it. But beside the point, on one of like the 3rd or 4th homework when we were learning for loops, and we had to do a for loop to, I can't remember, it was printing out some pattern. And the way it worked, you couldn't just like, do print and then just print out like, the exact right number of characters, because it was some way that the homework would test it that you couldn't just do that. But I discovered I didn't understand for loops at all, and I was only
didn't either at first
until the homework was due. So I copy pasted 300 lines of if statements.
Oh my god!
If this, print this. If this, print this. If this, print this.
Oh,
and let me tell you, I aced the homework assignment. The auto grader went through it. The auto grader gave it the inputs. That bad boy spit out the exact right outputs.
Wow, Max's took like 5 times as long.
I'm not gonna lie.
His program works, but it's like 8 times the size. What's going on?
At least you guys are willing to learn more than Yandere Dev. With his
the exact same thing though.
Messy ass.
Yeah, but he didn't learn afterwards though.
No,
I'm not too shabby at programming.
Yandere Dev actually had a guy come and fix his entire code and said, "Nah, I'll stick with what I have.
Oh, no.
I liked it before, actually.
I like the way I did it.
So how do you guys like recursion?
I failed recursion, and the only reason I passed the course is the last.
I don't think I ever reached recursion before I dropped out.
It's basically function for loops.
The function
great.
Until something happens, it'll collapse back into a solution.
Yeah, you can easily crash your system with recursion.
That's exactly what I hoped for.
You run out of memory.
Assignment until recursion, and then recursion hit, and I think my average for the whole module was like 40%. Like I just bombed it. But I ended up getting like a B+ or whatever because I did so well on the rest of the course it didn't matter. So thank goodness they only spent the last one talking about it.
There you go. Okay.
But yeah, with that, I think it's bedtime.
Yeah, with that, let's try not getting into any more nerdy stuff. Let's end the podcast.
Keep our teeth, everybody.
Keep your teeth.
Keep your teeth. Keep your teeth.
I should try find that program. I'm pretty sure I have all my past. Pretty sure I kept all of them. All my past coding assignments on a flash drive. I should try find that
programmer. You should.
Same here.
It was
Same here.
comically ridiculous, the if statements I wrote. I was like, I'm tired of this. I just spent the next 10-15 minutes copy pasting.
Way faster.
Yep. That's what I did too, man. Sorry.
Okay, what should the topic next time be, guys?
Superpowers.
Superpowers?
Lame superpowers.
Lame superpowers?
Oh, I've got some funny things I can reference with
Is
that.
Super Bagman going to return?
Oh, he might.
Find out next time.
I'm telling you, he's still in my crate. My family's been trying to tell me to get rid of him, but he's still there, folded up.
Oh, the return of Super Bagman. Lame superpowers next time. Thanks for all listening. And until next time, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.